From somewhere, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
How is this possible, man?
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. Whatever kind of radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing whacker or a convicted felon. No. I am your host. Write down our telephone number. We're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. We talk about marriage and relationships a lot on this program. I try to convince guys not to get married and not to get into a serious relationship any younger than necessary. Convince them not to have children. At least not until they're much older and they have a much younger girlfriend. Then maybe. There are certain things about marriage. And by the way, I say this as someone who's been divorced 4 times. There are certain things about marriage that I believe. And one of them is, if you're going to be married, that it should be because you want to be monogamous and you want to have children. And even then, I don't think it's a good idea. But if you don't plan to be monogamous, if your plan is to sleep with other people, your plan is to be a swinger, your plan is to try it out and see how it goes, you shouldn't be getting married. I also believe that you should have the best possible chance of succeeding. The divorce rate being what it is. And so although I did not have success in marriage, I have a better idea of some of the things you need to do to lessen the chances that you will get divorced. Because divorce is the worst. Take it from me. But one thing that I think is important to do is to not take on any baggage at all. If you insist on getting married, the person you're getting married to should have a minimum of baggage. I would say 0 baggage. Let me give you some examples of baggage that if I were stupid enough to get married today, these are some of the things that would be unacceptable. There would be a 0 tolerance policy for this. Let's review. Number 1, I don't want to raise somebody else's children. If you have somebody else's children, I'm not interested. Why am I not interested? Not because I don't like children, I do. I don't like some other guy's children. I don't want some other guy's children living in my house. I don't want a guy you used to have sex with coming to my house all the time, calling my house all the time. That's baggage. And I don't want it. And I wouldn't recommend it. If you have another guy's children, if you look into the face of a child and you see a guy you've had sex with in the past, you're not the girl for me. It's that simple. I don't care if the guy's dead. Don't care. You're a widow. That will always be there, and I don't want it around me. All right? That's number 1. Other baggage that I don't want if I were stupid enough to get married again. If you're a drug addict or an alcoholic, or what they love to call a recovering drug addict or alcoholic, which is redundant because supposedly you are always a drug addict and an alcoholic. If you're a drug addict or an alcoholic, no interest. No. I might party with you when I'm unmarried. I might have great, wild, amazing sex with you. But I don't want you to be in my home and me to have to ever rescue you. Don't want to deal with your physical issues as a result. I don't want it. And I wouldn't tolerate it. Other baggage that I just simply would not tolerate. You're in debt up to your eyeballs. You have spent your unmarried years dressing up to go out partying. You have spent on your credit card to go to girls' weekends away and expensive vacations. You've got credit card debt to buy all those shoes and pocketbooks and what have you. And then you just never got around to paying for it. I'm not paying for it. And I don't think, guys, that you should pay for it. Just imagine, back when she was younger, there she was using her credit card to get all tarted up for some guy who got the best part of her, wore her out, and you get the bill and you get to pay for it. No. By the way, I also don't want to pay your student loans or any other debt you have. Your car loan, no interest. I don't want to pay your mortgage on your condo. Your bills are your bills. Your debts are your debts. If you have debts, they're never, ever going to be my debts. Ever. If you have a FICO score below 650, 700, I'm out. I don't want my credit being affected by your credit, even if we have a prenuptial agreement, even if we never open an account together. I don't want my reputation being tainted by yours, you deadbeat. I might again have wild, wonderful sex with you, but the last thing I do is let you put my last name on a bank account if you're a deadbeat, if you got lousy credit, if you've got big bills. No, absolutely not. The answer is no. And I don't think, guys, that you should be with somebody like that either. Low FICO scores, bad credit, big debts, out. Out. All right? Also, I don't want you bringing in your unwieldy animals, pets, or anybody else. And by the way, I had this written into 2 prenups, just so you know. It's to be understood that if I'm ever with you, your relatives can't stay over. They can't move in. There will be no loans, no co-signing of loans. There will be no lending of money. There will be no gifting of money. Not even during hard times. You know what? All my life when I've had hard times, I've had to figure it out. And so does your family. Your friends can't move in? No. If that's your intent, if that's what you intend to do, forget it. I'm out. Out. There's just some baggage I wouldn't put up with. I mean, if you're drunk, if you're a drug addict, if you got bad credit, if you got big debts, if you've got big unwieldy animals, if you've got family that likes to crash at your pad, if you've got people who like to borrow money and you like to give it to them or lend it to them or co-sign on their loans, if you're one of those people, out. Also, if your plan is to have MySpace pages or Facebook pages or web pages, if your plan is to have 17 email addresses, you can do that. You just can't live in my house. Out. Now, the reason I'm telling you all this is not because I'm planning on getting married. I have no plan to get married. I live alone, and I live very happily alone. But the point I'm trying to make to you is this. You shouldn't be tolerating this stuff. This is a good way to help you weed out these chicks who are just going to be trouble down the line. No baggage. Zero tolerance for baggage. Anyone with baggage, out. Some people think it's really, really mean of me to say, oh, no, if you were a drug addict, you're an alcoholic, no. Now, it's one thing, look, if you're with somebody and they develop problems, you took wedding vows and sickness and in health, for better or for worse, whatever. So you are just, you can certainly decide that you want to deal with these issues. By the way, here's another one, and this is going to sound mean, too. If you have a terminal illness, now it's one thing if I was with you and you had a terminal illness. Okay? But if you have a terminal illness, I'll be nice to you, and I may offer to help you out once in a while. But marry you? No. Absolutely not. If you have a terminal illness, no. So, drug addiction, you're an alcoholic, terminal illness of some kind? No. Again, I've got no problem with leaving those handicap parking spaces open for people who need them. But if you expect to marry me with a handicap or some kind of disability, no. Here's another one. Do you have some kind of mental illness? Now, people hear the phrase mental illness, and that creeps them out enough. But there's many things that we have accepted into everyday life, and we don't think about the problems that come with it. Are you manic depressive? Are you bipolar? Are you on medication like mind-altering or mood-altering drugs because you've got some kind of issue? I feel your pain, but never will you live at my address. Never. Live at your own address. If you are manic depressive, call me. When you're manic, we'll have amazing sex. When you're depressive, please keep that negative, poison, toxic BS to yourself. Don't be laying it on me. Don't expect that I'm ever going to marry you, move in with you, or have any kind of relationship with you. I won't. And by the way, again, I'm not planning on getting married or having anyone move in. I'm telling you, boys, you shouldn't tolerate this either. And while sex with chicks who've had some kind of issue with having been sexually assaulted as adults or as children can be, as some people report, really wild and crazy and fun, don't ever marry people like that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Why do you need to feel their pain? Why do you need to be there when they need therapy? Why do you need... You know what? All of these things need to be thrown out. These people need to be kept away from your front door, and they should never have the key to your home. They never should. Do you agree or disagree?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
I want to talk first about the 167-pound 9. I don't buy that for a minute.
No, I don't either.
I think you've got to be drugly. You've got to be drunk and ugly to get her later on in the evening.
Drugly.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. That is our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the program. We appreciate it. So how do you feel about my idea of a zero-tolerance policy for anybody who's got baggage? No. No, no, no. Jay on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing great.
Hey, I gotta admit, I've been listening for a long time, and I don't know what happened. About 4 years ago, I fell in love with a girl. I broke all your rules. I'd like to say that, I was stupid to make all the mistakes, but there's something that just comes over you, and we had kids. Turns out she's had some of the issues that you're talking about, and I guess I just want to say that, in my dating life, I've dated, probably close to 50 women, and there's so many girls out there who have these issues that I would say that you'd be hard-pressed to find one that's sane and doesn't have some sort of sexual hang-up.
What are the issues that your wife has?
Well, there's, some intimacy issues and,
Caused by what?
What's that?
What are these issues caused by?
What are they called?
What are they caused by?
Oh, well, she had a molestation incident when, she was a young girl. And I think that, it kind of, turns her off to being full-fledged heterosexual. And, it's there's been it's been a really hard road. It's been a long road to hoe. And, it's just, like I said, I think a lot of women out there have these issues, and, you start dating a girl and the sex is great, and, some magic potion comes over you, and you end up starting to break Tom's rules. And I don't know if other guys, have it.
When did you know this?
I didn't find out till after we were married, really.
So she hid it from you?
She hid it from me, and I guess, all the positive things about her were just overwhelming, and, we had a pretty short engagement, and, she did. She played all the tricks that you illuminate. She hid it from me. She pretended to be, something. She told me she wanted to be this and have this. And then when I gave it to her, she said, well, maybe this isn't so great after all.
And you knew this before you had any children?
Well, she had a 2-year-old when we got married. So, I took that on. And then she got pregnant, about 6 months after we were married. And then we have Irish twins. So 14 months later, we had another child. So,
but when did you know about her problem?
Probably not for about 6 months after we were married.
So you had not had any kids yet?
No.
Why in the world did you have children with somebody who had this problem?
I guess, you gotta forgive and, allow somebody the room to grow. It's just another one of those issues, man, that, that doesn't make sense. There's no rule book. There's no...
Yeah, well, there should be a rule book. I'm writing a rule book here, and I'm telling people that there should be a zero-tolerance policy for that. You shouldn't marry somebody like that.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Tom, and I'm living proof. I just want to reiterate to all of the listeners out there that...
So how many kids do you plan to have with a frigid wife who was molested as a child?
Well, she's not frigid, but there's just issues, man, that just make it difficult. And, I think marriage is hard enough as it is, and the more... add-ons you throw in there, it just makes it unbearable. And so, I love her.
So
and,
you're in an unbearable situation. How many kids do you plan to have in an unbearable situation?
We're at the limit here. We're at 3.
When you say you're at the limit, what do you mean by that?
Well, we have 3 kids, and that's it. That's for now. That's it.
So you have taken steps to make sure you don't have any more.
That's right.
You have gotten a vasectomy?
No, not yet. But she's on the 6-month birth control, and we're taking care of that. We've got our hands full.
And you're going to stay married?
Yeah, I mean, for the time being.
For the time being. For the time being.
Yeah, man, I'm just trying to live, day by day, stay in the moment, and, make things better, and, see, all the beauty and positive stuff today. I don't know what's going to happen down the road, but, I just want to comment, from true life's experience that, what you're saying is true, but in the real world, I mean, how many, you take 10 women, how many of them have these issues? 7, 8?
I don't know how many do, but if they do, I don't want to be in a relationship with them. And if that means that I have to live alone, as I do, then so be it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, God bless you, man. Keep on educating the male youth of today. They need all they can get. And, maybe in a future show you can address this issue of what kind of magic potion comes over a man and makes him forget Tom's laws.
You were getting laid and you were enjoying it.
Yeah, man. It's more than just getting laid, though, that makes you want to marry a girl, No,
I think a lot of guys get married for that reason.
Yeah. Well, hey, I don't know what else to say, man. Take me out with the bong pit.
All right, here you go. One 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Let's say hello here to Mike on the Tom Leykis show. Hello, Mike.
How you doing, Tom?
Doing great.
Oh, man. I'm a little nervous. Sorry. Well, I was with this girl for about 3 years, and stupid mistake. But about a year that I was with her, I finally confronted her about what was going on with her. Like, what? Because when I first got with her, everything was great. Sex was every day. But then it just stopped, completely just stopped. And I was like, what's going on? And after all this arguing, she finally confronted her about it, and she told me what's going on, this and that. And she told me what happened. I was like, wow, why didn't you tell me this from the beginning? And, it's totally just wasted my time completely. So this whole thing is just, I completely agree with you. Don't date. You don't have to be with anybody, period. It's just, but I would never date a girl with baggage ever again. It is the worst thing ever.
You can have sex with people with baggage.
Oh, yeah, well, that's fine, but I wouldn't, date them. I wouldn't be with them. After this relationship was over, I'm just you know what? I'm done with having girlfriends for now, and I'm just going to follow Tom Leykis' way. No way. No, never again. I've learned my lesson.
I love it.
I'm 23. I'm 23 right now, so it's ridiculous how women can just hide things like that for you. It's just ridiculous.
Well, I always make it a point to excuse myself, go to the bathroom, and then quietly go through the medicine cabinet.
Yeah. So.
Ever done that?
I've never done that, actually. Never.
Maybe in the future you ought to take a look at those little pill bottles and see just what she's on.
I should. That's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But anyway, I just wanted to call you. I completely agree with you. I'm a devoted listener. And I just wanted to, if you can take me out Kobe style.
I certainly can, Mike. Here you go.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. I'm saying point blank, I have a zero-tolerance policy. If you have baggage, you can't be in a relationship. It certainly can't be married to me, or certainly shouldn't be to anyone who listens to this program. Jennifer on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Is it Tom?
What did I just say?
First of all, you're a big, huge chauvinistic pig, dude.
Give us the specific examples why you say that.
First of all, that dude that called a minute ago sounded like he was gay. I don't know why he said he was married.
All right, Donna, is this a crank call? Because it's not very funny.
Well,
Is it?
whatever.
It's not very funny. I mean, if you really have something to say, I'm listening. But if you're a crank call, you're no comedian and you're not funny.
I'm not trying to be a comedian, dude. You're not funny either.
Well, why are you listening?
Because my boyfriend forces me to.
Oh,
anyway,
very nice.
No, the other day you were funny and you were cracking me up. But today with that whole molestation...
This is not, I'm not here to listen to your critique. Do you have something to say about this subject?
Yeah, I do if you would shut up.
When will you? What time so I can set my watch?
Oh, you shut up.
That's enough. Bitch! It's 1:30. It's the Tom Leykis Show here at 1-800-5800-TOM. No baggage. No baggage. None. Janelle on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, I totally agree with what you're saying. I personally do not want to get married, and I don't think people are meant to be monogamous. But I know so many people, and myself included, who have lowered their standards to date somebody for whatever reason, and people need to definitely raise those up and date quality individuals, particularly if you're planning on reproducing with them. I have a friend who actually married somebody who was terminally ill and then purposely had his babies a couple of months before he died. And it's just so sad. I don't know why people would do something like that.
And isn't bipolar disease, isn't that like hereditary?
Oh, yeah.
So why would you want to have a child with somebody who is manic depressive?
Well, he was actually terminally ill with cancer.
Oh.
And she wanted to have kids with him before he died, knowing that he was about to die.
What is that all about?
I have no idea. No idea. I don't know why people even bother getting married, because it's never going to last for any great length of time.
Well, that's a whole other topic for a whole other show.
Yeah. All right, Tom, well, I love you. Can you take me out with the Bill O'Reilly style?
Yes, Janelle, I can take you out Bill O'Reilly style. Here you go.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. F***ing thing sucks.
Don't forget the Factor for Kids, available at Amazon.com. You can have Bill O'Reilly tell you how to raise your children. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Jenny on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. When I turned on the radio earlier, you were saying, that a small amount of baggage is okay, and now you're kind of saying zero tolerance.
When did I say a small amount of baggage is okay? When?
I was pulling out of my parking structure from the office, so I was listening in, and it sounded like you were saying that a small amount of baggage is tolerable, but... No
baggage.
Okay. I feel the same. I recently got out of a relationship where I was dating someone I knew had some problems of insecurity, and, when one request would kind of come down the line, don't talk to this guy or don't have lunch with male coworkers, I thought it was acceptable, but it was kind of like the Mary Poppins bag where it's just an endless bottom of requests he kept pulling out. And I got to the point where I realized that, even an overnight bag is too much for myself as well. But I agree with the previous caller that it's difficult to find people on the earth that don't have any of their own. Which
speaks perfectly to what I always say. Just date people. Don't move them into your home.
I am a little bit conventional in the way that I do feel like guys will call me names or think, down on me if I'm not in a monogamous, committed type relationship. So I guess my option there is either to not care about that or to take care of myself. What do you think?
Yeah. I would say taking care of yourself is the best thing you can possibly learn how to do.
I agree. Sometimes it's just lonely.
Darling, don't you have friends?
I do.
You got a mom?
Well, I'm talking more about kind of bedroom affairs, but I definitely have friends. I have
Couldn't
a lot
you
of
just have a
life.
bullpen of friends with benefits who stop by, give you a little intimacy?
No, I don't have any of those.
You got to get on the stick here, darling.
I think I'm a little bit shy to do that. I don't even know how I go about kind of starting
literally and figuratively, you got to get on the stick.
Okay, well, just send me the map of where the stick is. I'll jump right on it.
Darling, I'll give you a Thomas guide. Hang in there.
1-800-LIKE-IS. 5-800-TOM. Like this. 866. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I've been listening to your show for about 3 months, and that's all it took for me, man, to make my mind and say, you know, bitch, screw you. I'm gone.
The Tom Leykis Show.
At 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the program. Zero tolerance policy. If you insist on being married, which I don't recommend, or in a serious relationship, also not recommended, give it your best shot for success by avoiding all baggage, if you can. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Alex on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. This is Alex.
I know. I just said that.
How you doing today? First-time caller, long-time listener.
Great.
I wanted to get your perspective for a long time, and this finally seemed like something I could get a real grasp on what I'm doing in this relationship. I've been going with for about a year. We're kind of engaged. It's on and off a lot. We haven't had sex yet, and yet, you know, we've gone to therapy a bunch of times. And
Wait. Why haven't you had sex?
We're trying to wait. She wants to wait till, you know, we get married, and then...
Why'd you agree to that?
Well, you know, when you get into a relationship, it sounds, you know... I was looking to get into a relationship, and, you know, you kind of agree to whatever terms they kind of come up with.
But wait a minute. Why did you agree to get married to someone you'd never had sex with?
Well, I never agreed to get married. I thought it would help the, you know, trust and bond to, you know, go down that road.
How does that, explain the thinking there. How does that help with trust?
Well, it shows a long-term commitment that a girl that hasn't had sex yet would be interested.
What happens if you get married and the sex is terrible, which it will be because she's never had sex?
That's what I'm starting to think about right now, and it's kind of scary because that turned me off of my first marriage, and I really wasn't into that.
Wait a minute, you're 25 and you've already been married once?
Yeah.
What is your religious background, son?
I don't really have any. I'm kind of Catholic, kind of just out there.
So why do you feel this need to keep getting married?
You know, it's a long-term thing. I think with my parents and stuff like that. I'm sure
you live with what did you say? You live with your parents?
No, I think I can blame it on my parents or something. I live on my own. I'm in California. I don't have any family here.
So you need to be married because your parents live in another state?
No, you know, it's tough when you didn't grow up here. You don't have a big group of friends. You're looking for somebody to hang out with.
So you need to get into bad marriages.
What it seems like.
And that's going to make things better.
It hasn't helped as far.
Yeah. All right. So you agreed to get married to somebody without ever having sex with them.
At this point, no.
What do you mean at this point? Just say yes at this point. Yeah, there's no evidence this is going to change, is there?
Not really, no.
Right.
What, based on what you're talking about today, is just a DTV and move on, or?
Of course! Never, ever. First of all, why you need to get married is beyond me. You don't.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you never get married to somebody who, without having sex with them first. Would you buy a car without test driving it?
No.
You haven't test driven this one?
Right.
This car has 0 miles on it.
Yeah, just like brother, he listens to you and he uses the same terminology. I listen to you, but I don't really, you know, follow the oath or anything.
The sex is going to be horrible.
Yeah, I see that. I understand that. But, you know...
If, by the way, if she has sex with you after you marry her.
Yeah, that's my concern is, you know, I want somebody that's going to be sexual all the time. So it's hard for me to see them flip a switch just because.
Why would you think that someone who's never had sex is going to be sexual all the time?
I don't, maybe they need that thing that they wanted, which is marriage, and that's going to be it for them. I don't know. I mean, this girl is very sexual. She's very out there, but so frustrating too because she dresses so, provocatively, and she's got her stuff up online
to sell you a bill of goods.
What it seems like.
What?
I said that's what it seems like.
That's what it is.
So how do you get out something like this without...
Tell her it's over.
But do they give her the reason or just down?
Well, that is certainly a reason. And by the way, we haven't even gotten to what you told Dean yet.
Which is what?
Which is what? You don't know what you said to the screener?
Well, I know that I told him about the segment. I wasn't sure,
You told my screener, quote, my girlfriend has a troubled relationship with her dad.
Yeah, possibly. I don't really know.
What do you mean, yeah, possibly? Why'd you tell him that if it's not true?
Seems like that. I can't confirm it 100%.
How so?
They just don't get along at all. They can't stand each other. They cuss at each other.
Are you sure she wasn't molested by him?
I don't know. I mean, somebody that isn't sexual at this age, I mean, this is their prime time.
Could that be why?
I personally think so. My therapist kind of thinks so, too. But
Your therapist thinks she was molested by her father?
I think there's something questionable going on there. He doesn't know exactly what...
Well, your therapist is a professional. I've known you for 5 minutes and 37 seconds, and I said the same thing.
I know what you're saying. I get the picture. It's just sometimes, you need that reinforcement from the greater above.
You do not need to be married, son.
Sounds like a dad.
Well, you say that. But I'm serious. Getting into a bad or a questionable marriage is not going to make life in California better for you.
Yeah.
In fact, it's going to make life worse. Because do you know the divorce laws here? You'll get eaten alive.
Yeah. I know. I'm not in the greatest position anyway, though, financially, so I should probably concentrate on that.
Why are you not in a good financial position? Because you've spent your whole adult life getting married and getting divorced?
That's right.
Why didn't you go to school instead?
I did go to school, but...
What?
My parents have never, getting married, incurred a lot of debt.
Your phone is cutting out, son.
Thank you.
All right, I've had enough. Holy schmagoli. 1-800-5800-TOM. Aaron is listening to the online stream in Santa Rosa, California, Sonoma County. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Doing okay.
Hey, I just wanted to say that a friend of mine told me about your show online probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and I've been listening ever since. So I think it's awesome stuff. And I wanted to say, as far as this topic goes with baggage that you don't accept, I agree with you 100%. My ex of 4 years, we were married for 2 years, which was a big mistake. But she was sexually abused by her uncle, and I dated some girl before that who was sexually abused by her dad.
Why do you keep picking people like that?
That is a very good I don't know. I have no idea. It was
maybe you ought to think about that.
Yeah. Well, it's something that I've got to definitely think about for the next time. I'm not going to be doing that again for sure, but you would have thought I would have learned the first time around. So, but I just wanted to say that I agree with everything that you're saying, and that it was just a nightmare of a situation. I would never recommend ever doing that again, not even getting into some kind of a long-term relationship with somebody like that.
No. You don't need it.
Yeah, it is. It's a big pain in the neck, and it's not anything you ever want to have to deal with or have to experience or, yeah.
You're right about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess the reason I found out with my ex, or when I did find out, it was the first time we went to go have sex and stuff, and she just started crying, and I got pretty freaked out because I didn't know what the hell was going on, you know? So.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron.
All right, well, can you take me out tribal style?
Yes, I can. Harry on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
How you doing, sir?
I'm okay.
All right. Well, I got a little story to tell about this situation that you're talking about.
Well, I got 20 seconds, so make it fast.
Okay. Well, I was dating this girl for about 4 years. Come to find out, 4 years into the relationship, about 6 months before we broke up, found out that she was molested by her uncle. And bad thing is, I co-signed a loan for her about 2 months before we broke up.
We can see where this whole thing is going.
The Tom Leykis Show.